Hello everybody, welcome to my X-Files. You haven't seen me do a buses magazine for a long time, so of course I've got my latest edition here, which is the buses issue number 840 March 2025 issue, which of course shows the biggest news stories: Tranche 3 of Manchester B network completing the Hive, Wrightbus with their new Rightech, RB6 and RB9, and some stuff for enthusiasts. So yeah, let's begin. Look at the small commuter. After small commuters, another thing. So first things first is that Cambridgeshire is getting one step closer to franchising. Go ahead launches in West Yorkshire. And of course there's the bit on the bus services bill almost, of course, reaching committee stage. And of course through February there are others. Of course Leeds has a guided busway that has faced an uncertain future. And of course a Stansdale Airport Flibco brand, which is also a tech company like Flixbuses. And of course partnership data of a demand responsive loop service, East Yorkshire's Hall Depot, the fading away of the Cornwall low fares pilot, of course Tranche coach service, and Stagecoach in Devon, of course growing a little from surrendered services from Plymouth City Bus. Now, of course, our traffic commission is fit for purpose with Craig Temple, of course. And of course we got Soris sending the first bus to United States, Newton's new coach, and of course French fraudsters with phantom cars and e-Jess mostly. And of course eBus is starting to actually go into sort of bankruptcy. Meanwhile London, of course, they're doing 25th anniversaries as well as Rail 200 events, of course, throughout the year. And of course here's all the buses that are supposed to have some takeovers of different contracts. But of course it says that the bus network costs will continue to rise in the very long ever franchise of a city service, which is all of London. And of course our Under Transport Secretary Simon Lightwood, of course, has been promising long-term funding commitment, and that Zebra funding and other things are now going to not be based on postcode lottery and things of wastage of money on Zebra schemes, and that the funding will be allocated based on population size, distance buses travel, and levels of deprivation, and then of course we got financial loss at Newport Transport, First Group's Macro Coach Hire, and of course through this year this will be of course the manufacturers talk. So of course this week will be this month it was Mellor. Next magazine will be Yutong, which of course would talk about all these buses and coaches that make up their range, their lineup. Of course that talks about a remarkable year of that. And then of course we got the buses that we're talking about, the Rightech RB9, RB6, which the RB6 is a 12-seater, and the other one, the RB9, is a got 57 passengers to it, which it said that 27 of them are seaters. Of course, that's become a bus that's of interest because the RB9, because you never know, it may go to large operators as well as the small. And of course, inside it is of course supposed to be like, I think the big bus feel inside those two buses are actually there. So of course, next bit, it was completing the Hive, more or less the finishing off of with Metroline Manchester's Tranche allocations. So yeah, next time we'll be talking about Yutong, of course, for the story stuff. And of course, all that is just for the older bus enthusiasts. And there's the grubby Alexander Survival 300. So then, of course, the fleet news stories in order. Of course, right there, of course, is a Alexander Survival 400 EV demonstrator, but yes. Of course, there's a huge one on Metroline Manchester, as you know, and of course, Stagecoach Manchester's is quite big in the last couple of times also. And then we got the transport stuff for Scotland. And then finally for Ireland. So yeah, that more or less wraps up the that week's that month's buses magazine. So with that said, thank you for watching my X-Files, and I'll see you again next time, slugheads.